"Who is it?" said the lady at the table. "Pip, ma'am." "Pip?"
It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness.
The girl turned her face towards him with a start and rode in silence. Her face was very pale.
And it would not be wonderful to meet a megalosaurus, 40 feet long or so, waddling like an elephantine lizard up Holborn Hill.
Dickens' novels have stood the test of time as much as Shakespeare or the Bible or anything. People still know, even if they don't know what the story is, they know what that world, like Dickens has a world and Dickens has an emotion which draws you in.
He writes dramatically, actually. I like the way, even though his characters are sometimes quite larger than life, very bold flavours, painted in kind of vivid colours. It was barely daybreak when, with a parting look round his room, mournfully wondering whether he should ever see it again, he went out.
I am a huge Dickens fan. I did an English and drama degree, so then I spent a lot of time reading Dickens. It was never a chore. Some authors are. Never with Dickens, because he's just the most sublime storyteller.
Mr. Godfrey Nickleby and his partner, the honeymoon being over, looked out wistfully into the world, relying in no inconsiderable degree upon chance for the improvement of their means. The layering in of character, plot and situation, the amount of things that happen, the amount of people they happen to, and the amount of places people go to for these things to happen. There's something about that that has made it resoundingly human.
There's certain parts in this story that he's kind of feeling for where to go next. And it's quite nice, it's quite freeing, it's quite liberating to be going on that journey with the author and him sort of making decisions as we go.
As much mud in the streets as if the waters had been newly retired from the face of the earth. And it would not be wonderful to meet a megalosaurus, 40 feet long or so, waddling like an elephantine lizard up Holborn Hill. You can't explain what Dickens does to you, but when he takes you by the throat, he never lets you go. He offers so much humour, so much horror. The vitality is so strong. How can you set your face against that?
He is a genius, and when you spend so much time with it, you've got incredible descriptive passages, you've got that kind of accuracy of dialogue, authenticity, and then you've got some of the best scenes that one's ever read, even in drama.
Miss Pecksniff was in a frame of mind equally becoming to herself and the occasion.
Because the sentences are so long, because it's so involved, it is difficult. You do have to be able to start a sentence, look ahead and realise that you have the wrong inflection and try to change the inflection before you get to the end, so it's all of a piece.
There's this great debate, how much do you characterise and how much do you just do a straight read in your own voice? I think it's impossible with Dickens to not invest the characters with some degree of performance so that they leap off the page for you.
Some of Dickens's characters feel very real. I feel like, oh yeah, I know someone like that. I felt that with Herbert, actually, Pocket. But with Miss Havisham, I didn't feel, thankfully, that I'd come across too many people who behaved the way she does.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. He was interested in moving the action forward, using the characters. That's why the whole feeling of the Tale of Two Cities is so very much more linear.
"There was an unfortunate occurrence here last night, Sam," said Mr. Pickwick, "which gave Mr. Winkle some cause to apprehend violence from Mr. Dowler."
You're so used to reading novels that people began writing when they knew what it was probably going to end up as. I don't think he ever knew where he was going with this from chapter to chapter.